Hello my dear people, welcome to a very short little video. It's a little new series I want to do on this channel where I very quickly introduce you to a little franchise that I really love. And I decided with today's franchise that I was going to choose was going to be one that I started to play again recently, which would be the Onimusha franchise on the PlayStation 2. What is Onimusha? Onimusha is basically started off as a PS1 game originally that Capcom developed. They wanted to make a Resident Evil styled game, but in old Japan. So, what did they do? They created a PS1, well, not really tech demo, they made a PS1 version. They delayed it a couple of times, then it eventually turned out to be a PS2 game at the end. This is the one I'm currently playing at the moment. The funny thing about Onimusha is it is pretty comparable to the Resident Evil franchise. How do I mean that? I mean that with Resident Evil you have this thing where each and every new entry in the franchise is something completely different. The first one is more horror focused, more isolated, atmospherical. The second one is a bit bigger in the bombastical factor. Number 3 is basically an action game. And you have number 4, which is even more of an action game. It's a straight up action Hollywood movie. The same can be said for the Onimusha franchise. It has a similar thing going on. Basically the first game is basically like Resident Evil 1. It's more horror than all the other ones in the franchise. It is also, I wouldn't say difficult, but it is a bit more tactical than the other games, because you really have to land the hits pretty well. Yeah, you don't actually use guns in this game. Very normal. You're a fucking samurai, you use your sword. What you basically do is, you have like your sword. I don't have a one to compare it with. Wait, I do have this one. Give me a second. I will be right back with ya. Fucking hell. I hate that this thing is in my drawer, but here you go. So basically you have a sword like this one. You have like, normally you hold it like this or whatever, and you can hold a button to like prepare yourself. With the prepare button or whatever, you can kind of dodge the attacks from an enemy, or you can do like a block whenever they attack. If you hit the block button at the right time, you do like an instant slash. If you press the dodge button at the right time, you do also an instant kill on the enemies. So it's pretty interesting. You also get a bow and arrow to play around with. You can shoot enemies if you want. That's not necessarily. You can upgrade all of your swords, your weapons, your katanas. So how would I rate the first game? The first game is, in my opinion, so far actually the one I have the most fun with. I don't know, I'm a sucker for this pre-rendered backgrounds. I'm a sucker for these tank controls. I like this kind of shit. As you can see, the CD isn't there. You have a nice little manual. It is not in color, but who gives a shit. Let's get it on with the next one, which would be the one with the shitty cover, Onimusha 2. Yeah, Samurai's Destiny. I hate this cover because it's fucking boring. But the game is pretty fun actually. It's way different than the first one. The horror was a bit toned down. The bombast was a bit increased. There's way more characters. There's like a cast, there's like a hub world. There's a lot of shit to explore. You get a bunch of different new weapons like a fucking hammer. The enemies are a bit more dangerous at times. And overall, gameplay wise, this one just basically feels like the first game, with a slight little improvements here and there. They were both developed actually at the same time, co-developed. One was developed by, well, the original studio, which was the first game, and the second one was developed by, well, yeah, the second studio. So basically this game is kind of different. You don't even play the protagonist from the first game. New protagonist, new characters, new story. Same system basically, but yeah, I don't know. Gameplay wise, really fucking great. Story wise, I don't know, the story isn't really that interesting to begin with in these games, but gameplay wise it's good. atmosphere, universe, character-wise, I don't know. It's a bit more on the goofy side of things. It's okay. I liked it. The game is still good. This would have been a way better cover. It's also pretty boring. I don't know what it is. I hate covers where it's just a black background, a character pops up, and there you go. Here's the title of the game. Like, look at this shit. The first game's cover. I mean, it's a white background, but you have like this focus. You have like the character here. You have like big fucking title, and you have this shit. Looks pretty good. But cover-wise, we increase with the third game. Man, what a great cover. Look, could be from a Star Wars movie. Or a genuine samurai movie. The thing with the third game is this is the first one that I played. And it's way different. It's not really a lot of tank controls. It's not a lot of fixed camera angles or pre-rendered backgrounds. It has 3D in-game backgrounds. It has a dynamic camera. Basically, it plays like the other two, but with a slight tinge of Devil May Cry in it. You play the character from the first game, and yeah, Jean Reno is in this fucking game. The incredibly legendary French actor Jean Reno is in this game. You get to play as both of these characters, side by side, constantly. And it's pretty fucking great. Jean Reno's gameplay has a bit of an... Well, I wouldn't say... It's a bit more... How should I say? Jean Reno is basically in his world, and he's basically in Jean Reno's world. So you get to play him in France, modern day France, and him in old Japan. And Jean Reno gets to encounter all these crazy fucking things from old Japan, all these mythical creatures and shit like that, while he gets confronted with the modern times. This one is a direct continuation from the first game, actually. And it's, in my opinion, out of them three, probably the best when it comes to the overall gameplay and everything. It's really fun. I like this game a lot. Yeah, what can I say? Pretty fucking great game. And Capcom actually announced after this game that we're gonna end the series. But that was not the case. They made a fourth one. Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams, which is, well, very, very different. While the first one was very grounded, very horror, the second one was kind of a continuation of that with a bit more goofiness. I didn't even mention the third one is a fucking Hollywood action movie. That's what it basically is. It's very ridiculous. But then you have the fourth one, which doesn't even have the 4 in the title because it's trying to distance itself away from the trilogy. This one is an anime. It's a straight up hack and slay anime. It doesn't really play much like the first 3 games. It's more faster paced. It has a big focus on the magic abilities. There's a lot of crazy fucking characters in this one, which you wouldn't have seen in the first game or the second game even. It comes with 2 CDs, by the way. It's like one of these games. It's a pretty big game, I gotta say. Overall, I gotta say this one is also pretty fun, actually. Overall, it's a fun game, but I don't know. First time I played it, I didn't actually like it because it was kind of slow during the beginning, but it gets way faster later on. The game actually does improve and improve as the more you play. Eventually, this one also ditches the fixed camera. You have a Devil May Cry styled one, sure, but you also have one over-the-shoulder camera, like in RE4, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, after this they ended the franchise. We got a mobile game after that, I believe, exclusively in Japan. There's 2 other games, one for the Game Boy Advance, which is a tactical RPG. I have played that one, but I'm not the biggest tactical RPG fan. I like some, but there's gotta be something to really interest me in playing those. And there is a brawler for the PlayStation 2, which is, I heard, kind of bad. Some people say it's kind of mediocre or okayish. I don't know, I haven't played it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get both of these, even the GBA game, because I want to have all of the games in the franchise. As you can see, I have all 4 of these. It's probably one of the coolest franchises that Capcom has created and that they discontinued for whatever fucking reason. I honestly wish they would bring it back. There is a remaster of the first game on the PS4 and PS5 if you're interested in that, with trophy support and better graphics. It's pretty fucking good. They even improved a little bit on the issues the first game had. Overall, what can I say? Pretty good franchise. I can wholeheartedly say that you guys should play it too. Of course. The thing is, which one would I recommend of these? The first game, if you wanna play something Resident Evil-ish, like the classic ones, then this one is good for you. The second one is also good, but I'd say the first one is more interesting. The one which you definitely have to play is free. Free is just hella fun. And the cool thing about the fourth one is you don't, story-wise, you don't really have to chronologically play these because this one is distant from the other one. So you could also pick up this one first, but it's not really representative of the franchise in my opinion. I think that the three, especially the first two, are the most representative of the franchise, or representative, I hate that word. It shows a lot of the franchise. It's the one which is, yeah, like I said, this one doesn't, but it's a fun game nonetheless. Anyways, I hope you like this short little introduction. I'm gonna do more of these. I'm trying to do them as quick as possible. As you can see, very quick, very fast, very bombastic, fast, quick, fast. This is the way to go, my friends. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know which franchise I will introduce you next, or which game. It doesn't have to be necessarily franchise. Sometimes I'm just gonna introduce a fun game to you. Anyways, I hope you liked this game. I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.